right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for joining us here today. This is Pierre. Welcome back to the JKM podcast. This is our Ascend segment, and Ascend is an acronym for Attitude, Skills, Community, Empowerment, Next Step, and Development. We're focused on building emotionally resilient youth, but mostly men because we come from the perspective of men. And I'm Pierre. And as a longtime barber, I like to call myself the crown regulator and life navigator, because I like to, that's one of the things that I've been loving to do my whole life. I was born into it. My mom's a cosmetologist. She ran her own shop on Lexington and Grand for over 7.5 years. And so I saw all the her ability to be able to talk to people and to be able to love on people and transform their lives was, like something I was like, oh man, that's deep. She make people smile and making them laugh. But I'm joined here by Kadar, one of our strategic partners, to discuss how this alliance becomes the ultimate tool for men's mental health. Kadar, welcome.
I appreciate you for having me on the show. Be willing to have this conversation because I feel like it's very important, especially to reach out to the youth about mental illness and mental health, and just speaking on certain things because I feel like that's what the youth needs to hear. And by the way, I'm Kadar, everybody, and I'm looking to start my own youth program, and it's going to be called Journey of the Youth. I named it after my niece because I want to see her thrive and I want to see all the others thrive. So, yeah.
Right, Journey of the Youth. That's got a ring to it. What acronym is that? So, joy.
Yeah.
Oh, I rock with it.
Yeah. And then, journey, because I feel like every kid should have a positive journey. And I want to start that by having all my kids that's in the program end up in the journey that I wanted to end.
Right, exactly. Intentional.
Yeah.
Purposeful.
Yes, sir.
Joy. Oof. Black boy joy. All right, I rock with it, absolutely. So when we look at the high rates of emotional suppression, we know that the root is culture, the intense pressure for stoicism. Kadar, from your perspective in the field, why is it that, let's get into what we're here to talk about today. We're actually here to talk about mentorship. So we're just going to talk about mentorship and why it is important. So give us your definition of why you think that mentorship is important.
Okay, so my definition of why mentorship is important, because I feel like every kid who doesn't have a father, right, or who doesn't have a male figure in their life, they end up in the path that people like look on a third party or looking on their life and be like, they get judged for it,
right?
And it's like, yeah, you could judge them for how they may portray themselves, right? But if that person hasn't actually been taught to do something, how are they gonna know?
How are they even gonna know? And that's because you want to be, like a boy. If a boy learns from his mom, he's going to be argumentative. He's going to be, because she has to assert herself into a male dominant role in order to show. She has to think that she can think like a man, like right. Steve Harvey said. It is just like, but a woman can't.
And the thing is though, it's like people don't really realize sometimes that you need both. You need your mom and you need your
100%.
You need your mom for the careness, the sweetness, to bring the joy out of you,
the nurturing,
the nurturing love, and then you need your dad to be able to show you what toughness is.
Yeah, right? To show you what's real out here.
Because we fall and do we get back up? I know sometimes.
When it comes to resilience, I like to use that. Okay, when we were a baby, like if we gave up on walking, we would still be crawling.
Right.
So we have to get back up, exactly. And that just shows that it's in our DNA from the beginning to, get back up. But the way that let's go back to the baby analogy is that difference between a man and a woman teaching a baby how to walk. And when that baby falls down, a woman is going to go and swoop that baby up and care for that baby and hold that baby and say, it's okay. But a man is going to look over at the baby and say, you good? unless there's no blood, no broken bones, whatever,
Right.
we're gonna be like, that baby, we're just gonna look over at the baby and let the baby decide its emotions. Okay, so let's see. We just addressed the why mentorship was important.
Now, guidance. Guidance is always important, and this is why, right? Guidance is important because you have to have that help. You have
Right.
to be pushed. You have to be motivated. So how are you motivated? You have to be motivated by mentors,
Right.
Because that's what this is all about today. We're trying to bring more mentors in our community to support the kids that need them, right? Because it's a lot of kids that's out here that really need the mentors, but how can they find it?
Right. Exactly.
And that's just
And so now it's one of those things where, like, if you build it, they'll come.
exactly.
So if you build a space for them to go and get pizza, they're gonna go get pizza. You build a Domino's, people are gonna go get pizza. You build a community center, people are gonna come and get some mentorship because they understand that it's about the community. That's why they say it takes a village to raise a child. And when we look for mentorship, we're looking like back in our day, we used to have leaders, like our politicians used to be the leaders. And so we just look to them on how to live a life and how to live a, what kind of life is that? To live an honorable life.
Right.
And so we always look for somebody to be like. For me, I used to go to church all the time, Mondays, Wednesdays, Saturdays, Sundays. I was always at church. And so me, when I'm seeing somebody in a suit and tie, that gave me a definition of what a man is. Unfortunately, I couldn't see into their real life. And I didn't understand that at the time, but it was just kind of like, okay, well, this is what I consider a real man. The mentorship and guidance that I needed at that time was spiritual guidance that I needed. And I didn't understand that you're going to get different types of guidance from different environments.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you might go to a community center and find out how to become, how to shoot. You might from the street, let's go to the street. In the street, you might learn from somebody how to get money.
Exactly.
How to hustle.
Right.
But from school, you might learn how to educate yourself. Like if you're focused on learning what type of learning style that you have, if you're focused on trying to become the best version of yourself. I consider Johnny at the JK Movement a great mentor.
Yes, sir.
Because he leads by example. And so who else is there to be like out here besides somebody like a Johnny? So did you have a lot of mentors growing up?
So I will say I did. I did. And that's why I'm on the path that I am now. Like, I would not be where I am if it wasn't for my mentors. Right? Because I was fortunate enough to have my dad, my mom, my big cousins, my mentors around the community. So I was able to really enjoy life. And I had to think about it one day because, my friends, they wasn't fortunate to have both their parents. One of my friends lost both of his parents.
Wow. Yeah.
And he ended up going in the streets. So then I had to hit him up one time because I seen him doing something that he wasn't supposed to be doing. I'm like, bro, you don't need to be doing this. So how about you come help me do this, and then we gonna do this the right way.
Saved his life.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
So that's just the whole point about being a mentor. And look, to be a mentor, you do not have to be older. You don't have to be younger. To be a mentor is just to be willing to help.
Yep.
To be 100%.
Be willing to help, and because stewardship. Like there's nothing better than being a hammer for a nail. It's not about, because I say this a lot. It's not about being used, because we all want to be used because we want to be useful. It's about being misused. That's when people go off the edge because they don't understand. But that's another thing that has to do with mental health as well, is that people don't understand when they're being misused and abused, or so it's just one of those things that mentorship will show you that. That's when you can go to somebody that you admire and be like, hey, what would you do in this situation? Because the wise man seeks counsel. I guess it says it in the Bible like 5-6 times.
Right.
A wise man seeks counsel, and but in that moment, you still have to use your discernment. And when you're able to use your discernment, you just put yourself in a better position. But the only way that you can get that discernment is when you work on yourself internally. When you work on yourself and you have a good guidance system.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a father to look up to or to watch, or a man to watch closely, because anybody could put a face on in front of you out here in the streets, like I could be who this person thinks that I am. But somebody behind closed doors, they have to be who they are, because there's no hiding. And so you learn either what to do or you learn what not to do from the person that's around you. And that in itself is mentorship, like unintentional mentorship anyway. So like all men are being mentors just by being alive, because kids is watching.
Exactly. And I have a question for you, right?
Yeah.
So my question to you is, from any mentor, what was the best advice you ever received from your mentor?
The best advice that I've ever received from my mentor, or any of one of my mentors, Coleman. He was actually, so at this time of my life, I was smoking a lot of weed,
Okay.
but I would still wear suits and ties all the time. And I saw him over at Golden Time when Golden Time was across the street, when it was next to the barbershop, off of Selby. And so I saw him over there one day, and I'm shaking his hand, I'm shaking up with him, and he's just like, he pulls me closer, he's just like, hey man, do that stuff at home. Like, you don't have to do that out in the public. You can do it, but just do it in your own privacy of your own home. And that was probably the best advice I ever got, because then that enabled me to be able to wean off of it. Yeah, because it's going cold turkey on things like that is hard to do, especially if you don't even understand that you're dependent on it. And at the time, I didn't even understand that I could be addicted. And so when he told me that, I started saving money on weed, and then I started being able to go places during the day without being paranoid. I was able to be around people and be at different government buildings, just walk into these places knowing that I belong there, feeling that I belong there. Right. But I didn't have that, because I had that stigma of smoking weed. I felt like I didn't belong here. I was, step away from being, arrested, Right. So that was probably the best thing that a mentor has ever told me.
Okay. I like that. Yeah. And then, another thing about that too, it's like, not only is it you like kind of moving from it, but you also learning how to respect yourself too.
100%. Yeah. So, respect yourself for sure, because unfortunately there's a stigma out there on doing drugs. But let me go ahead and bounce the question back to you. What is the best thing that a mentor has ever told you?
The best thing that a mentor has ever told me is that anything is possible.
Anything is possible. 100%.
Anything is possible. Like I had sometimes I had my doubts of becoming something, right? Because it's like you want to be so big, but sometimes you have them doubts of, oh, I don't think I could do this because of that, or I don't think I could do this because of that.
Right.
And my mentor, he had told me, like, dude, you could do anything you put your mind to, as long as you can do it.
Exactly. So, as long as you feel like you can do things, and that's 100% right, because a lot of people get it twisted, because if it be all you can be, no, be all that you put effort towards being. You can be anybody as long as you put the effort into it. What do you see yourself as at the end of that picture? Who are you becoming? And it's every day those habits that you're doing, every day those habits are who you are becoming. You can't dodge that. But yeah, that's some good advice. That you can be anything that you put your mind to. Let's see. What was one of the things that you learned indirectly from a bad mentor?
just probably just doing stuff I just wasn't supposed to be doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, cause I used to go to like certain rec centers and play basketball and stuff, and like, sometimes when you would see the bigger kids do stuff, sometimes you'll be like, I'm curious what that is. Right. But then I had to think about it, like, being curious could get you so many places.
Yeah,
it can.
Yep, you're right.
And that was
good and bad. Yeah,
exactly. And it's one of the things you have to really. That was one of the things that I learned from where I had to learn how to utilize my environment.
Right.
So my environment ain't ain't the right thing for me. Then I have to find a new environment. Sometimes environment don't mean the place. Environment can mean people.
Yeah,
it can
100%.
It could be the sound. It could be anything.
Yep.
So that's
sound.
Yeah. Where it was like I just had to change my environment. So I changed the people that I was around, and then I ended up being cool.
Right. And that changes you. Like I was telling you before we started recording, I wasn't telling you, we were having a discussion, and you were talking about how you are the 5 people that you're around the most. You are them. What does that mean to you?
So me being that 5 person, right?
Yeah.
It's basically showing me that I'd be perfectly fine, sometimes better off by myself, or I'm better off being around people that are trying to have the same goals.
Right.
And the people that have similar goals or the same goals as you, those are the ones that are going to continuously push you.
100%.
Continuously push you, just like you're going to continuously push them. So a lot of my friends that I'm around today at this time are the people that are in my circle telling me whether or not if I did something wrong or if I did something right. Because I don't look to my friends to always tell me that. Do something right. I don't need no yes man. I want people that's going to be like, oh, you ain't do this the right way. You should go redo it or something. Right. Yeah. Or tell me if I was to do a drawing, right, and then my friends always told me that my drawings were perfect, that wouldn't be no real helpful thing. Right. If I was to sell it and I don't get nothing, how am I gonna know whether or not if it's really good for it? So I like to keep myself around people that might say my stuff is trash, even though it might be hurtful. But hey, that's the realness.
Yeah, because I can get better from that.
Exactly.
I can't get better from, oh, you're the greatest that ever walked on 2 feet.
Exactly.
Like, where do I go from there?
Because no one's perfect.
Right. 100%.
So that's just kind of where I kind of like to have my head. I like to still be humble.
Right. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
We got the humble grizzly bear downstairs right now. You know? Yeah. Like I ain't never met somebody so humble like that, and he lives up to that. Exactly. You know. So yeah, humble. You know, sometimes it's hard for me to be humble. That's probably one of my weaknesses. Is because I'm always like, man, I'm the best thing walking on 2 feet. You know. Yeah. Because at the same time, you still gotta have that confidence.
You gotta have that confidence.
Yeah. You know, like
you have to. Like
it's a thin line.
Like it's one of the things where like. Sometimes people are not going to tell you whether or not you're the greatest or you're the best. They're not going to tell you that. Right. You have to tell yourself.
You have to.
You have to.
And guess who you're going to believe? The man in the mirror.
Exactly.
You know. And
that's why it's important to have the right people. Even your mentors. The mentors are the most important people. I feel like the mentors are most important. Just like your parents, right? They're not in the same, I wouldn't say they're in the same category, but I would say it's kind of similar levels to it, because you take knowledge from wiser people that you could be like, oh, I did this the wrong way. How can I do it the right way? And you can go to them about anything that you need. Like Mr. Pierre, I can come to him about anything. I know that if I have a question about podcasting, life, anything, I know he's been through it already. So
100%.
I could come to him and be like, hey, did I do this the right way, Mr. Pierre? And he'll be like, he'll either tell me no or tell me yeah. And most of the time it's a yeah, but still.
Right. So it's one of those things where a man will take advice if he asks for it. And so when it comes down to people giving unsolicited advice. Why is it hard to take unsolicited advice?
Because I'm not gonna lie, right? One of the biggest things about men sometimes,
100%. Yeah.
I know my ego, like one thing about me, if you don't know, you gonna know. My ego be high with certain things.
Yeah.
May not be with everything, but my ego be high with certain things. That's just one of them things where I had to kind of like pick up on. So I say my ego. That'd probably be like one of them things that I'd be so, because it's like I didn't ask that, but sure, I'll take it.
Right. And so when people give me unsolicited advice, I just take it as like first of all, I wasn't even asking.
Yeah.
Why do you feel like that was the problem? Because most of the time, people that give unsolicited advice do that all the time. So they think that you're asking them for an answer to life, and you're just like, no, man, I'm just talking, and I'm trying to, use you as a soundboard. Yeah, because sometimes we just need to hear ourselves say things.
Exactly.
And when we hear ourselves say things, and then we're just like, that's what it is. We get the answer as we're asking. Right. And sometimes it's not you just got to leave that space. That's mental health. That's mental awareness. That's, knowing that there's a higher power. That's knowing that it's you that you're seeing.
Right.
Like every time you ask a question, you're going to get a reflection of who you are, sure. And it's hard to take advice from people that are always giving it.
Exactly.
But,
exactly. And I don't never turn down free advice, but, so I'm one of the youngest out of my big brothers and stuff.
Okay.
I'm one of the youngest. So a lot of the times I know that my big brothers, they get a little annoyed when I be calling them. But sometimes it's actually about real advice, right?
Right.
But if somebody's giving me advice and I ain't asked for it, it's kind of one of them things where it makes me kind of step back from it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. You don't think I'm smart enough to know that? Because sometimes they be just saying real simple stuff. It's like, dang, you calling me stupid. You might as well just be calling me dumb or something. Because most of the time when those kind of conversations happen, it's, I know.
Right.
After they give their advice, it's like, I know.
Right.
But that's not what I was getting at. You got to listen to the rest of the story.
Exactly. And it's almost like sometimes you don't really even need the feedback. You just need somebody to vent to.
Right.
And that's one of them things. I like to, just be one of the people that I could have ears, but then if you come to me for advice, I could be able to give it to you.
Right. 100%. Because I'm going to be like, because we're supposed to be emotionally intelligent enough to say, if somebody is telling you a story, you can peep what they're saying and be like, oh, okay, yeah, I feel you on that.
Exactly.
I feel that.
Exactly.
Like, you angry right now, I feel that too. Or you're happy right now, man, I feel that too.
Right.
Or you're curious about that, man, I feel that too. It's just those, it's just those moments where you're just supposed to bond and connect with each other. Let's say, do you have any brothers and sisters?
Yeah.
Okay. How many brothers and sisters you have?
So they're not actually my biological brothers, and they're not a lot of the siblings that I actually claim. These are the siblings that we all grew up in the same household.
Okay.
And stuff. So it's like I am one of the youngest, and so when I call them or when I see them, it's one of them things where we have our moment.
Right.
And it's one of the things where it's not where we argue. That's
right.
Not the thing, right? But we have our moments of they showed me how young I am.
Right. Right. You got a long way to go. Yep. And you probably hear that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. And I just reached 23 a month ago.
Okay. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And I still get critiqued and my brothers and sisters still mess with me about how young I am. when we go out to clubs or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the mentor is, I'm just going to jump back on script. So the mentor is teaching them to develop the internal locus of control necessary to utilize that resource effectively. They are guiding them through the psychological minefields, ensuring the mentee gains not only the external skill, but the self-efficacy to sustain their success. And that modeling of consistency, that repeated positive attachment, is fundamental to building stability. And you know what? I don't even know what that means.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
We had them time. You know?
Right. So thank you, Kadar, for coming in. We definitely appreciate you. And ultimately, we are using this mentoring dynamic to model healthy attachment and create a new blueprint for robust emotional regulation. We need to normalize vulnerability,
Right.
and so the next generation of men can move past old harmful scripts.
Exactly.
No, always. This was an amazing time with
Appreciate
you, Kadar.
for having me.
Yes, I can't wait until next time.
Yes,
Be on the lookout for Journey Our Youth.
Yep. Journey of the Youth.
Journey of the Youth, man. We love it. All right, thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
I'll holla at you.